Hello, welcome to this tutorial on using Smart Notebook for integrating collaboration, publishing, and different media in student work. This is based on the grade level student tech use expectations document that you may or may not have seen. And what this is a summary of what Common Core and the technology standards for students call for students to be able to do. So if you scroll down, you can see what the expectations are by grade level, and this tutorial is going to focus on these two areas: using digital tools to produce and publish writing, as well as convey ideas, and also adding visual displays to digital work. You'll notice that these call for adult help, so you as the teacher will be integral in making this happen. The students aren't expected to do this all themselves, but as you'll see, it is not too difficult, and as you go through the grades, they're pretty much the same standards with a little bit more complexity. By second grade, they're expected to add audio recordings, so we'll show how to do that in Smart Notebook as well. So going back to my Smart Notebook file, when you open your Smart Notebook application, you will start with a blank screen. I added this already. I'm just going to pretend that I never did this, so I'll just delete it, and this is what you'll be starting with. So the idea here is for you to have all students contribute to a common document, to collaborate and to publish and to add different media. So there's a lot of different ways you could do that. I'm just going to show some possibilities for you. Now your view might look a little different. You'll probably have a box with all these different tools up here, but this is where all of my different options for working within Smart Notebook are. We don't have to get into that now, but over here, if you click on this paper icon, it might look a little different for you as well, but it shows my page. Now you can make a bunch of different pages. You just have to add something to this first screen. So I'm going to start off with the little directions. So I'm going to click on this letter, this text icon, choose which font style I want, and then when I click on the screen, it brings up an editing field for me. So my instructions might be something like this: write your story on your slide and draw an image to go with it. Alright, so if I click off, then that's how it looks. If I click back on this arrow, that gives me the ability to move that anywhere I want. Alright, so that's my first slide with my instructions, and I could add other designs and colors if I wanted to get fancy. But really what I want to do is create a slide for each student. And to do that, there's a couple different ways I can. I can do this little drop down arrow and choose clone page, and it makes that exact same page for me. I can also hit Control C on my keyboard to copy that slide, and then hit Control V, Control V, Control V as many times as students I have. So I'm just gonna make a bunch. I'll just make 10 for now. But I also want to indicate whose slide is whose. So if I click this drop down here, I can rename it. And let's say I want this one to be for Jasmine, and this one to be for Joe. I just gotta click on that drop down arrow, select rename page, and then this one can be for Magdalena. Alright, and so on and so forth. That way the students can identify their names. You might need to help them with that depending on the age or ability of the student. But that's how you can show whose is whose. So when the student comes up to the smartboard, they can just click on the one that says their name. They have their instructions here, and then you could have them use one of the pens on the smartboard. I'm just working from my computer right now, so I'll just do it with my mouse, and they would write their story, and their handwriting might look something like this. Anyway, I went to ... the park, so they would write that on there somewhere in the lower part of the screen if they can't reach very high, and then your instructions are to draw an image to go along with it. So maybe they went on the merry-go-round, So they'll draw the merry-go-round, and this is going to look horrible. I apologize for that. But this is meeting the standard of including images with their writing. Alright? And the fact that they're all putting their work on the same file or document gives you a lot of opportunities to do collaboration. So you could have them partner up and look at each other's slides together and then ask for feedback, so students could give feedback or write it on here. A lot of different things that you could do with that collaboration piece. And in terms of guiding them through it, you as a teacher would probably have to monitor it the first time they do it, maybe continuously throughout the year, but as they get more used to it, I think the more self-sufficient they will be. So that kind of covers the images and text, collaboration, and for the publishing piece, you can also choose to export this, and there's a couple different ways you can export it. You can do it as a web page, an image series of image files, so that each slide would be an image file, but I am going to show you the PDF option. So if you save it as a PDF and then choose a full page for each slide, then each student's slide will show up as a full page here, and it will be a separate page in a PDF, and then you could share that PDF by email. You could put it on your website. There's a lot of different ways that you could publish it out and share it to an audience of any kind. One more thing I wanted to show is how to do an audio recording. So I'm going to go back to this arrow. So in order to add an audio recording in Smartboard, you need to find the Smart Recorder. So if you right click up in this gray toolbar area, it'll bring up all of these items and tools that you can use. So if you want to have the Smart Recorder handy in that main toolbar, you can just left click and drag it up into that toolbar, and then it's there for easy access. Or you can just click on it here and it will bring up this little box, and once students hit record, then it will start recording whatever is being said and whatever happens on the screen as well. So you could have them write what they're saying, or just simply have them read the words that they typed to their story, or add some kind of insight to it, maybe why they wrote it like they did, or why it's meaningful to them. And then when you click stop, you'll just save that file. This might be something you as a teacher would have to do. So I'm going to call this Jasmine 1, and I'll just save that on my desktop. And depending on how long it is, it will take a little bit. Alright, so that has been saved. So once you have that recorded and saved wherever you have it saved, it will show up as a video file. And then with that video file, you can share it where you want to share it. And it would look something like that. So that would be a way for you to add an audio recording to their presentation, fit that standard, and be a pretty engaging way to get students involved and thinking about their writing, working with each other, and doing cool stuff that's likely to get them excited and likely to be fun for you as well. So hopefully that helps, and thanks for listening.